you play that game where you make up the West Ham team with the players that we've signed and players that we've not quite signed yet and put them all in the starting 11? You do, don't you? I know you do, I do. And it looks nothing like last season's team, does it? And it probably goes to show how much we were in need of a rebuild. I mean, that was clear. I mean, we spoke about it last season. There was a rebuild needed, and they were really, that's why we brought in a director of football. Look, seems to have worked out absolutely brilliantly. There's no doubt about it. So, at the point of me going to bed last night, I haven't gone to bed last night. It's still last night. I'm about to go to bed. What is it? It is 10:51. So, by the time I've uploaded this, done the thumbnail, all the rest of it, it'll probably be about 20 past 11. I'm thinking I'm safe for the evening now. Don't go to bed and all that sort of stuff. Let me tell you where we are right at this point. Todibo has agreed. He signed for West Ham. Not agreed to sign for West Ham. He's signed for West Ham. He's not there holding up the West Ham underpants yet. No. I'm not even sure he's been recorded and done his press and his media for holding up the West Ham underpants. If they're sensible, well, they've got two options really, haven't they, West Ham? They either announce him at the boycotted pre-season friendly, where no one's just basically about 4 people there. Perhaps they won't do that, I don't know. Or they leave it to the Sunday because they've got a load of media. They've got a lot of content to put out tomorrow. Content, it's a game of football, never mind content. They've got all that to do tomorrow. So maybe, just maybe, they do that. It got a little bit sticky, though, it has to be said, during the day. He flew over very, very early in the morning. And everyone was trying to track the plane and find out. Who is he? Which plane's he on? I don't think anybody ever found out. Anyway, came in early in the morning, did the 2-part medical, did it all on the same day. Hey, not like Fulkrug and Somerville. This is a man this was so quick. He got wrapped up so quickly from the point of Tim Steidten flying over to France on Thursday night to it being done by Friday night with Todibo over in the country. Absolutely incredible. Signed the contract. Apparently, according to top sources at the club, Juventus were on the phone all day. That's true. I've seen the correspondence. That's absolutely true. That's it was true that the club had said that was happening. So I think, but they couldn't really do anything about it, Juventus, really, because unless they found they were 20 grand. They were £20 million short. Their best offer was £20 million for Todibo. So unless they found an additional £20 million down the back of the sofa, they were never gonna persuade Nice to go with their offer. So I think their last act was one of desperation, which was, I think, trying to phone up his agents and trying to convince him not to sign for West Ham. But as we mentioned a couple of days before, Nice were sort of relying on that money. Nice can now go and get on with their transfer window, and quite frankly, good luck to them. Sometimes you deal with clubs and they're not completely honourable. I think I've liked the messaging. At the end of the day, business is business, right? But I sort of like the messaging that was coming out from Nice all throughout, which is basically wanting business with West Ham. It's nice to hear that as a West Ham fan, because we've heard the opposite so many times. Basically, we don't want to do business with West Ham. West Ham are incompetent. West Ham are unprofessional. This is not the case now, where West Ham are slick. West Ham are paying the money. We're paying good money for players. Make no mistake about it. But we're not. We're not making lowball offers. I think the point of the matter is now, we've had so many successful transfers. I mentioned this the other day, that actually the ones that don't work, like Aston Villa with Duran, you have to look at that and say, well, look, we've managed to negotiate with loads of different clubs, be it Dortmund or Nice or Leeds, or we've negotiated with free agents, of course. We've even, by the looks of it, we'll get on to Wan-Bissaka in a minute, managed to negotiate with Manchester United, which is not the easiest thing to do in the world, is it? And I think with that in mind, you probably look at it and think, well, actually, it probably was Aston Villa being awkward rather than us, because we've shown our ability to deal with everyone else. Steidten knows what he's doing. That much is clear. I mentioned it in yesterday's video. We've got a transfer expert here, and that's what you've got to do, right? Bring in specialists. So Todibo comes in. He gets into my team. He gets into your lineup, right? You've got him in your lineup next to Max Kilman. Of course you have. That was the deal. I mean, in fact, by the time we finished, the only person left in that back line, that back four, if it is going to be a back four, is going to be Emerson, of course. So the team is looking remarkable and remarkably different, actually. Not today, of course, for the Celta Vigo game. Who knows what it's going to look like there. I do believe that this is probably Lopetegui's, well, it is his final friendly. He can't muck around too much in this one. He can't play too many players that are not going to feature. I think we'll see as close to the starting 11 as we're likely to get here, really. So, yeah, going to be interesting to see what he does in midfield, actually, in central midfield. Obviously, Alvarez he's training, but, he's not training and running around and kicking the football with everyone else. He's doing fitness training. He's doing convalescence training. He's trying to get better, basically, isn't he? So it'll be interesting to see what happens in midfield there. Even more. But just give us some inklings. The starting lineup for Celta Vigo is not going to be the starting lineup for Aston Villa, but it's going to be close. That much I'm pretty sure about that. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, what can I say? Got to quite late. Last night, tonight, if you mean now, 8, 9 o'clock, something like that. There'd been a lot of news about Wan-Bissaka all day. It was on, it was off, it was on, it was off. Basically, it was a microcosm. Friday was a microcosm of the transfer window with Wan-Bissaka. Exactly the same stuff was happening, but just perhaps with a little more frequency. Ex-West Ham United employee, 8, 9 o'clock, something like that. He said it's close. He said it's close to being done. But that had been being said all the time. But I don't know why. This one carried a bit more weight. It was more belief. I don't know why. It just felt. I don't know. Maybe just said it with more assurance. It felt like that was the case. And I thought, oh, okay, this is interesting. It does seem like maybe there's just a few more facts. I think there was maybe a few more facts in his report that made me think, okay, there's really something in this one. It was followed up by Romano, followed up by Damesh Chef, then by Plettenberg. No, Plettenberg. It's so confusing. Plettenberg did the Todibo one. Plettenberg announced that Todibo deal was done. That was it. That was him. Anyway, there was lots of in the know. In the know, you feel like you know them all personally now. And that was that. It just appeared that's been done. So as you'll know, Wan-Bissaka was waiting for a £7 million loyalty payment that he would have been due if he'd have stayed with Manchester United for another year. He didn't want to give that up. I don't know what the resolution is, but there's been a resolution where it's only one of three things. I basically either Man United are paying it, either we're paying it, or basically he's accepting less. So, that's got to be one of those three things, really, hasn't it? Whatever it is, that's a good thing. I do wonder if Wan-Bissaka has been looking at West Ham, thinking, what's going on over there? This is crazy. I mentioned it yesterday's video with Gio on this channel when we were saying, look at what other fans are saying about us. Other fans are green-eyed. We've got a bit of envy, which is nice, really. Let's be fair. How many times have we looked at other clubs and thought, oh, they're doing rather well. I wouldn't mind a bit of that. Lots and lots of times. Even, recent history, I've been looking at it thinking, but I'll have some of that. But I think a lot of the rival fans, if you want, are looking at West Ham and thinking, oh, wow, they've really got some good business done. Even the likes of Man United are probably looking and thinking, we wanted Todibo, which of course they did. So I just wonder if Wan-Bissaka had probably looked at the West Ham situation, was probably quite impressed with what's been going on. You see Kilman join, you think, okay, he wouldn't have been bothered with Guilherme joining, young. Hopefully Guilherme turns out to be a superstar, but things like that are not going to sway you as a sort of established senior player, a young 18-year-old coming in from Brazil. He could be good, bad, or different, I'm sure, as far as Wan-Bissaka's concerned. He probably saw Kilman come in and thought, okay, so maybe something's going on there. They're sort of bolstering the defence. I think Fulkrug would probably have turned his head, and then Somerville come in as well. And I think then you start to see the avalanche effect of it as it's snowballing. And then I think by the time that you're looking at it, and even if you don't think Rodriguez is a stellar sign, and you're probably looking at West Ham they bought another player. They bought another player. You probably then start counting. You're looking at that thing on Sky Sports News where they have a list of the ins and outs. And you're probably looking at the West Ham one thinking, they've done some business, West Ham there. You'd be very aware, if you were a Manchester United player, you'd be very aware of Todibo. Very aware. I mean, it was a superstar signed for Barcelona, and we've covered all this in the last few days. I do wonder if when that happened, you thought, okay, there's really something happening at West Ham. I think what's happening at West Ham now is about as ambitious as you can be as a club in the modern era without breaking the regulations and the PSR, financial fair play and all that sort of stuff, all the financial regulations. Probably about as good as you can do, really. all gone quiet over there with Kurt Zuma, the old Zuma rumour. Not so much of that at the moment. Hopefully something like that's happening anyway. But I just wonder if Wan-Bissaka probably said, do you know what? I want to go and join this project. Because sometimes it's not all about money. These are rich people. These are rich men. There's no doubt about it. Maybe you think, do you know what? I'm already a multi-millionaire. Maybe I'll go there and go for the project and play some football. Hopefully, be a formidable team. It's going to take a little while to bed in. I'm not expecting huge instant returns on this. I think when you change the team that much, it's always a little bit difficult. But we needed to do it. We absolutely needed to do it. All this thing about David Moyes, leaving the club on good foundations, it's just not true. It's not true. He was at the end of his cycle. He had his empire, it peaked, and then everyone was either leaving or being sold or getting to the end of their career or whatever. It needed a rebuild. It would have been David Moyes 3 or 4.0 if he'd have stayed. There was no, he's made us. I think his foundations in terms of our reputation, in terms of having won in Europe and stuff like that. Yes, absolutely. There's definite foundations there for that. Probably put West Ham on the map, particularly with the younger generation of players who, the younger generation of players aren't going to give a damn about Jeff Hurst and Bobby Moore. They don't care. They won't even know about that stuff. But they'll know West Ham now. So we won a European trophy. Absolutely foundations there. Actually, in terms of foundations, in terms of a playing squad that's ready to go, fit an operational full 20-man playing squad, forget it. It was nowhere near. It was awful. So, a big rebuild is needed. And my word, we've absolutely done it. It's incredible. And you think those extra places are going to be supplemented with the wonderful academy, the wonderful young prospects we got as well. Callum Marshall's gone out on loan. Kelly's gone to Doncaster, I think. Marshall's gone to Huddersfield. I think that's the case. I'd be surprised if Earthy and one of the midfielders, Potts or Orford, stick around. So I'm just really, really good. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Match today. Don't know if it's going to be streamed or on. I would suspect West Ham are not going to stream it. If they do, they're probably not going to publicise it because obviously they want the matches being boycotted because of the ticket concessions and that sort of thing. They're probably going to want people to go to the game, aren't they? So they, would sort of be counterproductive for them to stream it, I guess. Don't know. I hope they do. I guess you can't have it both ways. You can't boycott the game. Well, I'm not going to the game and all the rest of it, and then complain that you can't watch it on a stream. But look, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see some of the new players. I'd really like to see Somerville. I'd like to see that'd be cool. Be nice to see Paqueta back as well. Nice to see Holkrug. That'd be really good as well. Nice to see Todibo paraded with his West Ham underpants in front of everybody. Arm round Tim Steidten, one of them. Tim Steidten in his white t-shirt, soiled, dirty white t-shirt. Now I hope he's deserves a new white t-shirt, doesn't he? Really, Tim. But look, overall, what can I say? It's amazing. It's incredible. I mean, really, really, really pleased. Really, really happy about it. Actually, and most honestly, 96% of West Ham fans that I see online and in the comments and everything, buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Really happy with what's going on at the moment, and it's incredible, absolutely incredible. So yeah. Anyway, look, I guess there'll be a watch along on the main channel if there's something to watch along. There'll definitely be videos up later. Hopefully surrounding the game. Be nice to watch a bit of football. But even if there's not, there's a lot of transfer window stuff going. There can't be much. It's going to get to a point. Like deadline day comes. Can we say not bothering? Deadline day won't bother. Not bothering. Not going to even put anything yellow on. No point. We bought everyone.